Voting by mail is now the way most people cast their ballots in Hawaii elections. And with election security in the national spotlight, we wanted to know what's in place to ensure Hawaii's election runs smoothly. Gina Mangieri is always investigating and tells us what she found. Gina?
Joe, vote by mail is a massive operation with a lot of checks and balances, and also opportunities for someone's vote to fall through the cracks or even be invalidated without them ever knowing. A tsunami of envelopes is flowing through the mail stream. Absentee votes cast statewide without ever having to walk into a polling place. More than 220,000 of them so far this general election have been sent to requesting voters. The return rate trend has been around 85%, more than double the overall voter turnout rate.
Absentee mail has just constantly gone up over the years, the most ever. So, yeah, it's definitely trending upward.
But at many points along the way, those ballots could end up in limbo. More than 4,600 voters who asked for an absentee ballot statewide never got it in the primary because it bounced right back. The bulk rate paid on the mail doesn't cover forwarding.
Has the county ever thought of notifying those people that, hey, you're still wrong in our system?
At that point, all we have is that address, yeah? And if that address is bad, again, that's falls on the voter, yeah, to update their information. If the voter did not receive their ballot and they're wondering why, the best is to just contact our office and we can research what's going on.
Honolulu County says only about a dozen such calls came in at the primary. The other islands did not track the call volume. Poll workers say far more than that grumbled to them. How many people would you say came into just your polling place saying they had not got their absentee ballot in the mail?
Over 50.
Just in your polling place?
In my polling place.
She says other location poll workers said the same.
We tell them, and they try to fix it. So I give them that credit because it's run by good people.
We found 250 people who were supposed to have been sent mail ballots ended up voting in person at the polls. Now, that's okay to do as long as the mail one has not already been cast. Nearly 50 who already had voted at the polls also later sent in a mail ballot, but this machine caught it and spit out the subsequently mailed ones. And conversely, only a handful of folks were stopped from in-person voting because poll workers caught that they already mailed one in. But how many who never ended up getting an absentee ballot, period, just gave up?
In 2014, we were lost by some 80-odd votes. This past primary election, we lost by 37 votes. So, you know, when a race is this close, it probably could have made a difference.
Elections officials say those folks could be among the thousands of undeliverables. Others may think they signed up for permanent absentee but only checked the seasonal or one-time box, or may not have used the ballot the last time one was sent, and that can get you purged from the mail list the next time. Or they're misremembering whether they signed up.
They're not certain if they did or didn't, and they thought they did, and they didn't. We didn't receive anything.
But it's not just in the mail-out process where voters can go off the radar. The very ballot itself can be in limbo even after the vote is cast. We went behind the scenes with Honolulu County's election team at their new processing facility to see how it all works. The machine scans the received ballots and spits out the ones too thick, too thin, or with a signature panel where something's not quite right for further review.
If it has no signature, we put a letter with the actual ballot back and saying, you know, your ballot's not signed, so please sign it.
The next step is a human look at each and every envelope scan for signature verification. Matches get submitted. If something's still not right, it gets flagged for yet another look.
That would be escalated to one of us, and as I stand here looking at that,
several hundred signature mismatches were flagged on the neighbor islands. Those counties all opt to reach out to the voters and give a second chance. Maui even sends a postage-paid return envelope. Honolulu County has a different process where, if it's ultimately deemed a complete mismatch, what happens to them?
they get invalidated and they get segregated and sealed up.
Do they get counted?
They do not get counted.
Do they get investigated?
They do not get investigated.
Why not?
At this point in time, it's just when we receive an absentee ballot that does not have a matching signature, laws state to just invalidate.
Hundreds of Honolulu County ballots were invalidated in the primary for that reason. They're only accessible by court order if someone contests an election within the deadline, and that's long past. They remain sealed up, and we're told we can't see them. Why isn't the very mismatch itself investigated, regardless of the count or non-count? Officials declined to answer that one. Policymakers, not election managers, set the statute the way it reads. The Office of Elections confirms Honolulu County is meeting the letter of the law. In the primary, another 1,900 mail-in ballots did not count because they arrived too late. So make sure you mail early. The absentee process can be watched closely by registered observers, and it has been in the past. But election officials say no one signed up this year to monitor the absentee process. Tomorrow, November 1st, is the last day to request an absentee mail ballot. To do that and more details, visit KHON2.com. Gina Mangieri, KHON2 News.